All right. Good morning, guys. Happy Friday. Good morning. Good morning. I know we are off today, but I know some people are up just like me because it is just the routine to be up. So I figure, you know what? Why don't we get together? Maybe do a Q&A here of our pre-market show that we do every morning. Maybe something that we don't normally get to do when we're doing our regular programming, but maybe today we can kind of hang out and see some questions that we don't normally get to answer. Maybe we can answer those in this stream. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But at the same time, I want to test out how we are doing on this new settings. I changed a couple of settings here uh, on the programming. So I want your feedback as well to let me know how it looks also. So good morning. Good morning. Let me know how you're doing today. How was your week? Um, gonna go ahead and pop up my chat here so I can see your comments as we hang out this Friday morning. Let me move our comments from YouTube over there. And here we go. Excellent. Perfect. All right, so we're doing a couple of changes. If you look at the bottom, I added some graphs here: S&P 500, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, Russell 2000, and Bitcoin. So going forward, we'll have that there. That is coming from trading our terminal. So if you go to tradingterminal.com, which is our incredible website, actually, I'm going to show you what that looks like now. If you have not been there, this is ran by Bearable Traders, of course, and you can have some pretty cool things on this website. What I love about it is just the simplicity of it. So if you have not been to it, you definitely want to check it out. I'm going to show you what that looks like there. Very clean cut type website for news. I mean, you can get your news anywhere, guys, right? It's all about the layout, the format, and how it's being presented. And if you look at this here, you can see how clean and beautiful this is, right? It's just straightforward. Um, you have your overall performance of the sectors here at the bottom. You have what's going on in the global markets, cryptocurrency. You can also look at the news. So if you click on here, you can have news data. You'll have to log in. I'm not going to do it now, but you can look at news information. So again, pretty nice, pretty clean. Instead of all these ads and all these websites out want you to do all kinds of stuff, you don't have to do that here. So it's pretty nice to see and have. So with that said, guys, let's get to it. If you guys have any questions about a pre-market prep, how do we prepare? This is a great time for those that are asking me usually, how do we set levels? What are we looking for? This is the time to do it. This is time to send me a message, ask me any questions that we normally don't get to do in our regular program. Also, if you guys remember, how about VREU yesterday? This thing was madness, and we'll talk a little bit about this. I was gonna do a whole video on it for the channel, but if you look at VREU, guys, I mean, this is where unfortunately even good traders can get caught and blow up their account. I mean, the way this thing traded yesterday, I want to show you the 1 minute. We're gonna zoom in here. The way this thing traded yesterday was just brutal. It was brutal. I mean, the price action was funky. The drops were very aggressive, whether you wanted to go short or long. This is the type of stock where people end up blowing their account. I mean, look at this setup here. Let's get our Epic pen out. So we'll get that going here. You can see here, right, a lot of indecision. And I called it out in chat, guys. I said right here, this looks like it wants to squeeze. And it did. Look at the beautiful squeeze that it did here. But there was no way to take it because the price action was just so choppy, up and down, up and down. It was just there was no way to manage your risk accordingly here. So I didn't take it for long. It's just there was no way to do that. I didn't feel safe taking that trade. Hey, good morning, Dynamic. Hope you are doing well this morning. It's Friday. Welcome. Then it comes right back down, consolidates against, and then does another pop here all the way to 16. And then just look at this aggressive drop right back down, halt here, and then that's no good. So I guarantee you guys there are people that blew up their account in this stock yesterday. I'm 100% sure. And not just beginners. This happens to experienced traders too. If you guys remember back, there was a time where, was it last year, or the year before, you had a couple of firms, especially with AMC and GameStop, when they took off like that, that people knew that price was no good. There was no way GameStop was it like three, was it 300? It was something crazy. And AMC, those stocks were not worth that. And there were people that were on the right side of the tray as far as fundamentals, right? There's no way GameStop is worth $400, $500. And people, firms, not just retail traders, blew up their account. I forget the guy's name. He blew up a couple of $1 million. Sometimes as retail traders think that, oh, if I had a bigger size account, I could survive this. There's people that no matter what the account size is, they blow up. So it just got to be careful. And VREU yesterday with the way it was trading, that reminded me a little bit of that type of action that people just end up blowing up. You can see here on the pop, it halted again, and then it took off here, then it dropped again. So just got to be so careful, guys. Risk management. That's the thing. Kareem, welcome. Good morning, Kareem. That's the thing that VRU, you need to be in and out quickly. Yes, and you better hope it goes your way on your entry. I agree 100%. And you got to manage your share size, right? You can't have a huge share size on that neither. You got to be very careful. Good morning, Van Cats. Welcome. Price action is above the MAs on the 1 minute chart, but below on the 5 minutes. Should you go long or short? Should I give it more weightage to the 5 minutes MAs? That's a great question. I'm looking usually at the 5 minute. That is what I look at, right? So if you take a look here, the 5 minute, let's look at this is a horrible stock because again, just this is not a good one to look at. Let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla traded a whole lot better. So I'm looking for the setup on the 5 minute, right? I want to see it. I want to see it play out here on the 5 minute. This is where I put a lot more weight in, right? Once the setup is showing on the 5 minute, then I'll look at the 1 minute for a better entry. And it also depends on the trade you're doing. So for example, 5 minute opening range breakup here. Let's say I was looking for a 5 minute on Tesla, right, which looks very strong, starts out pretty nice. The issue here is you're getting extended from the VWAP very early on before the 5 minute comes. So when you look at the 5 minute, your entry is going to be somewhere here. Your risk has to be all the way down to the VWAP. So that's a big stop you need to take on this, right? So this is not a good opening range breakup on the five if you're looking to play that, right? So I'll be looking for the 5 minute here. To take off, and it just wouldn't look good. Now, if you look at the 1 minute, you can also see you're so far from the VWAP to take an entry here. It's very extended. So again, you can look at the five, you can look at the 1 minute for more confirmation, but the five is usually what I put all the weight on when it comes to these moving averages, right? That's what I want to see. Um, 1.5. I know you guys specialize in day trading, but I try to pick other investors and traders' thoughts on things long term. Yeah, our focus is definitely on the channel at least. Day trading. We do some options. You've seen Audie's videos as well. He has amazing videos and stuff there. Jared does options as well. He's really good. Still on the shorter time, right? I think they're doing weekly options. Yeah, long term stuff. There's some really good potential there. I do more swing trading, so I don't hold on for a couple of days unless it's something like United Airlines was my biggest swing trade last year, right? No, the year before. Wow, it's 2 years now. It was United Airlines. It was like a $20 or something like that, and we swung that to 40 because the pandemic. I knew, you have these lists of stocks that that they're going to go on sale. United Airlines was one of them, right? Where that you not that but it's a high probability that United Airlines is not going to go bankrupt, right? So when it went down to, I believe, from the pandemic, I think it's like 20 bucks or something. American Airlines went down to like 12 or $8. I should have bought some of that. They're going to bounce back up, right? So I do those type of longer terms, but just think about good fundamental companies. We can't tell you what to do. We're not investment advisors, but just think of companies that for example, I like airlines. You might have seen some of my stuff where I talk a lot about airlines. It's just I'm into aviation, so I like investing in stuff that I know. I know if I know it well, and I know when things are going to be good or bad. But there's some good opportunities. Just invest in companies that are sound, that got good fundamentals. That's key there when it comes to long term stuff, obviously. And you got to do your research, right? You got to definitely make sure things are looking good. Guys, give me feedback on the bottom here where we have S&P, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, and Russell 2000 and Bitcoin. Let me know if that is something you want to see going forward. Also, I'm testing the settings for some stuff I'm going to do over the weekend, but it looks like the flickering is still happening. So if you guys are getting the flickering, let me know. And what I'll do is I might have to restart my whole system. We're gonna fix that for next time we go live on Monday. But I gotta start today if I wanna reset my whole computer. It's gonna take some time. Um, that needs some quick thinking with the ORB. Thank you for the detailed explanation. Yeah, you got to be quick on it. You can't hesitate. If your setup is there, you definitely got to be quick on it. My private channel, with the market in its current state, not a lot of follow through. How do you stick with your strategy when it's not working? Man, that is a great question, and it depends on the day. I mean, I'll have to disagree with you a little bit. I think we see some good follow through at times. What I am seeing for the way I trade is things get extended very, very quickly when they are going to run. Let's look at Twitter yesterday. They get extended very, very quickly. And that's an issue for me, especially for the 5 minute. By the time you look at the 5 minute, it's already well past your entry point and it's too extended for you to get in now. So that's the problem I've been having on the 5 minute. But yeah, man, it's difficult. Here's Twitter, right? This is a big drop already, 48 all the way down to 47 for a 5 minute. The good thing about this one, you do get a pullback, so you can get in here for a possible drop. So that's nice. This turned out real, real great yesterday. Just an amazing trade here on Twitter. But but yeah, that's the issue. The market conditions are going to be good for certain strategies and not for others. So for the 5 minute, the issue is everything is running pretty fast when it is in play, right? Now what you have to do is you have to when you do your journaling, right? You have to kind of note down what market condition you are in, and then remember that for that strategy. See what strategy does best and what works well within that market condition. Because throughout the year you go through different type of markets, right? So you gotta note that, and whatever strategy that is, take note to make sure that you are matching up. Hey, in this type of conditions, this does well. I know that in this type of conditions with the volatility, the 5 minute is not the best, but you know what trades very well? Breakouts. If you've seen some of my recent recaps, these breakouts have been incredible. Above pre-market highs, above some good daily levels. You set up nicely and you can catch a real nice run on these breakouts. So that's been working out very well on this type of market conditions. The trading terminal, is it only for members or just everyone? No, it is for everyone, my friend. So definitely head on over there, tradingterminal.com. This is available for everyone. You can sign up if you want to get more information as far as more access to things, but it's completely free, no credit card needed. So yeah, so take advantage of it. And then from the trading terminal, you also have access to, if you go down on the left hand, I'll show you by the way, make it easier. If you come down here on the left hand side, you have the simulator, which by the way is a really amazing tool. Sign up for free, guys. You don't have to. I think I should have an account already, right? Let's log in here. Let's go ahead. I should. Listen, I love when websites do that. They link to your Google account, so you don't have to, put in your name and all that. It's just all connected, so it makes it very easy to come in here and just sign up. Let's look at VREU yesterday. So take advantage of these two things, guys. It's two really good products by the BBT team there in Vancouver. It's just doing an amazing job. Andrew's got some programmers working on this thing to make it better every single day. There's constant updates on it. So yeah, definitely take advantage of it. VERU is right here, and we can actually look at the madness from yesterday. Let's get our 5 minute, 5 minute chart and then see what took place here. Where was the open? The open would have been right here. Right? Was this yesterday? No, it was this year. And the price action was it was just so bad, man. Andrew got in really nice here. Look at his recap. He did very well on this one. But he's an experienced trader. You gotta have a lot of experience when trading stuff like this. Let's go. Let's hit play here. Oh, here's the open right there. So that's the open. You can put it on the chart here. We'll look at what the SPY is doing, and and yeah. So it's very, very nice tool. Definitely take advantage of it. You can speed up here as well. If you come in here, click X5, and this will go a lot faster. You get the pre-market too, which is nice. Some people like to see what the pre-market looked like. You're already a member. Excellent. Hey, Robbie. Good morning, my friend. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're having a happy Friday. Um, hopefully things are well with you. So there's a sell off, the initial sell off on VREU, and then you're going to see the consolidation. It pops up, then it consolidates, and then from there, it does take off towards the top again on a really aggressive squeeze from 13 all the way to 17. That was something else. Kareem, do you trade off a specific playbook or strategy with specifics, if and then statements, or are you purely watching the price action volume indicators and taking discretion decisions at the market open? You said a lot there, and yeah, a lot of that is going to be a part of it. So I have my strategies, right? I have my opening range breakup. I have the kind of price action I want to see. So you kind of have that already set, right? Kind of your playbook. But then, as you mentioned, you have to look at the price action, the volume, and indicators. That is going to be more important than your actual strategy for me, right? Everybody's different on what they put the weight and importance on. I put the weight on the price action and the volume because listen, your strategy could be what it is, but if the price action and the volume is not confirming that, you just cannot get in that trade. So that becomes the ultimate thing when you're looking to get into these positions. These trades are going to run pretty. They are going to be aggressive, like the 5 minute opening range breakup, like the 1 minute. It's you got to be careful with those. Price action and volume is key because sometimes you do get a setup. For example, on your 5 minute, you might get an opening range breakout, but the setup might not be correct. In fact, VREU is coming up on that right now. I'll show you. It's going to come up here. And to me, on any other stock, that looks like an amazing engulfing pattern on the 5 minute to take it long, right? Once you see that it engulfs this candle here, you'll see it come up in a second. That looks great. And the volume was great. But the price action on this thing, see how it just popped up like that? And I think it pops down again a little bit more here. Let's see that. See the way that's moving? That's not smooth. That is very aggressive action. So you got to be careful with that because usually, look at this squeeze here, right? Look at that squeeze. I mean, i- this looks very good as far as a strategy, but the price action was not great. It was very risky, very dangerous stock to trade. So although the pattern is looking good, it's not something I'll be looking to take here for the long side. Guys, take advantage of this. It's completely free, and then you can also come in here. You can take trades, right? So we can come over to let's buy 100 units here. So we'll buy, although I know that's not going to work because I know it sells off, but you can buy there, and then you can sell. You can partial. For example, let's say we want to sell 50 shares. You can do that there. Sell 50. And then you can always click on the, let's say you sell the 25, sell 25, and then you can click on position and it'll tell you exactly what you have left, right? So let's say you have 100 here, but you click on position, it'll bring it back to 25. You saw how fast and aggressive that was? Guys, we're going from 16 to 14. I mean, if it doesn't even give you a chance to get out of this trade, and I think here's where the first halt comes in, right? It doesn't even give you a chance. And even if you have a stop, sometimes on stocks that trade like this, you can still get burned, which is unfortunate, right? Which is unfortunate because there could be orders in front of you that can create the halt before it gets to yours, right? So that's unfortunate. You got to be so careful with that. Yeah, Zach. So we're just testing the system here. Let me know your feedback on the bottom here. I think the flickering is still happening. I'm seeing it. So I thought I fixed it, but the flickering is still going on there. So I'm probably going to end up having to reset the whole computer and reinstall everything again this weekend. I was not looking forward to that, but the flickering is still there, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, but I'm going to add this S&P, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, Russell 2000, and Bitcoin. So hopefully you like that, and that makes more sense going forward. And also we can ask any questions. If you guys have any questions, we can take care of that as well today. Sweet. Yeah, the title is very clear. Market is closed. It's very clear. So I'm not sure what title you saw. Um, all right, let's see here. Can you short sell in the simulator? Yes, of course, of course. You can definitely short sell. So you can come in here, you can sell as well. You can do short and long with no problem, and then you can cover with no issues. You can partial. Everything works completely there. And what I like about it too is that you can actually take. Let me show you actually. Let me better if I show you guys rather than tell you. Let's come over here. So here's a trading replay right over here. So So we still halted on this one here on VREU down. We're halted there. Yes, you can actually take a couple of trades as well. So if you want to have another trade on this side, you can do that also. You can partial on the way down. So it'll be just if you were to go short. Well, this is halted. Let's do this one here. Let's short 100 of the SPY. So there it is. You're shorting the SPY now 100. Then you can buy will be your cover, of course, right? So you can cover there. Do we watch the SPY for all stocks and QQQ only for tech stocks? Yes. So the S&P 500 is overall market. It's a good indicator. If you want to look how the tech sector is doing overall, then you want to look at the Qs, right? That's what you want to do. And if you go over here in our trading terminal, you can see, right, some of the different areas. All of these things here have their own ETFs and indicators. The Qs focus on technology for the most part. So obviously, the Qs should be very down this today for this week. I don't think they had a great week. You can see that there. They're down 5.3%. For the month, I don't think they did that bad for the month. Yeah, for the month, they actually did pretty decent. Where are they? Technology right here. Yeah, so pretty decent compared to the year. The year is not it's not great. Energy though, crushing it, just crushing it. Look at this thing here, up 44% year to date on energy. It's just wild. Um, and for the last 3 months, you can see technology, communications just taking a bit of a hit here. Last month, doing a little bit better. Market overall markets besides financial has been bouncing back a little bit. You can see that here if you look at the 1 month there. So again, two really good websites, guys. You can come in here and also the news. If you sign in, again, another thing that I love about this is sign in with Google. You don't got to do a whole lot of information. Click on that, and it just signs you right in. And now you can click on news, and you'll be able to, look at your profile, some stuff happening there. Where you can look at things. You can look at some tweet alerts. We can type in VREU here and see what was the news on them for last week. Um, I believe it's a COVID thing, right? Yeah, they're reducing death of COVID, which is pretty big news. So they're up here nicely, and if you look at the daily, they're holding strong. This stock is going to be in play for a while because they continue to make higher highs, although it's insane the way they're trading. I think it was Morgan Stanley gave them an upgrade of $21, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, that should be here. That should be here somewhere. So you can quickly come here and look at the news. We should be able to see an upgrade from them. If they're looking to get a fast track on FDA. Um, Again, that phase three are pretty good. Usually, when you get a phase three that does well, great results, you're gonna have stuff that's gonna pop because that's a big one for a lot of these biotech companies. So there it is, opens up, and then it's gonna consolidate here for a little bit. It just takes an aggressive pop, guys. And it was so difficult to trade. So but as I mentioned earlier, the point of that is, guys, just be very careful when these type of stocks, man. It's just be careful, manage your risk accordingly when you are doing that. All right, guys, excellent. Just wanted to come on and test this out. Flickr is still happening. Anything else? Any feedback that you guys would like to see? I mean, I got to reset everything from scratch over the weekend. Anything you guys like to see? Maybe that we don't have here that you think will be of value? Send me an email, carlos@bearbootraders.com. If you have something quick you want to throw it on there, I'll look at it. But yeah, send me an email, carlos@bearbootraders.com on any ideas that you would like to see for the pre-market show with Norm and I. When we go live on Monday, we'll try to get some of that stuff put out there. Do you normally long stocks after 11:30 a.m. or stop buying? After 11:30 a.m., my trading as far as profitability or as far as winning percentage goes down the drain. It is so bad after 11:30. I am definitely a morning trader where the volatility is at its best, where the momentum is there, where the volume is there. Does that mean that after 11:30, we got tons of traders in the community that trade after 11:30? And these guys like Peter, like Mike, they do very well. I see Peter taking. You guys might have seen it as well. He's taking trades at 3:50, 3:40 in the afternoon. 10-20 minutes before the market close, and he's very good at it, right? Especially he was at one point he was trading like Microsoft every time at the close. If you guys remember that. So it all depends on your style. After 11:30, I think it's just the patience, right? Things are a little bit slower. You got to be a little bit more patient for the setup to happen, and you have to give things a lot more room. So it's a whole different style of trading. But yeah, I have to stop trading after 11:30, man. If I can, I will manage a trade after that. I'll manage to trade the entire day if it's going in my direction. That's okay. But if it's getting into a new trade, it's a little bit more difficult. Now, don't get me wrong. Have I broken that rule a couple of times? Yes, especially when I am managing a trade. What happens is you're sitting here in your trading desk, which by the way, we'll make a video of my trading setup for you guys. You guys been asking, so I'll get that to you guys. Um, you're sitting here and then you see something that looks good, and it's so tempting not to get into a trade. So sometimes, unfortunately, I get into something, but it doesn't run, or it's a small profit, or I get stopped out. It just doesn't work out very well. My main strategy is the right now is breakouts. During this market is breakout strategies, of daily levels of pre-market highs. That is the stuff that's working the best for me now. You see some of my recaps on how that's been working. But for years, it's been 5-minute opening range breakout for years. It's just during this market right now, where things are just running so aggressively, where you need a little bit more firm confirmation. These breakouts of key levels, right, are important. So that is my main strategy. But the 5 minute is always one of my favorites. I think it's just so, I think it's the ease of being able to identify it. And you can identify a 5 minute opening range breakup very quickly, very clear where your stop is going to be, where your entry is going to be, and when it has been extended, where you shouldn't get in, right? These three things are key for when you're looking for a stock to trade. So if you can identify that quickly every single time, it makes that trading easy, and you can be a little more successful on that trading strategy. And that's what I find with the 5 minute open range breakup. It's very clear when you should not get in and when it still has some potential. Still waiting on Norm to dance. Yes, we're gonna get him to dance. I don't know. Maybe I had to send a bottle of tequila down to him. Say, hey, drink this for the pre-market prep, and we'll get him to dance. Is 10:30 significant for anything? Um, not that I know of, not that I can think of 10:30. I know 11:30, 12. You definitely see the drop in volume. You see it happening. That 11:30 time frame, I think the drop in volume is more significant. 10:30 is still very early. You still have a lot of stuff moving at 10:30. And in some days, guys, stuff is in play all day. It's just, if a stock is really in play, like Twitter. Look at Twitter. Even on yesterday, um, look at Twitter. Yesterday was a day where you didn't expect a lot of volatility, a lot of movement, because it is a day before a holiday. Look at Twitter. It was in play all day yesterday. Catalyst overall, it's just great catalyst. It was in play all day, guys, all day long yesterday. So um, it all depends on the catalyst that the stock has. Obviously, Twitter's going to be a play for us for a very long time. We're going to have a lot of fun with this one, guys. And I mean, just look at the increase in volume. We went from nothing happening to just, what's this, like 10 times the volume on the daily, right? We lost some momentum here, obviously, as things come down. And then obviously, you saw the recap from Andrew. Things sparked up again. Look at the volume on a day before a holiday. That's very, very good volume there, guys. That's very significant volume you're seeing. So we're gonna have fun with Twitter for weeks to come, and just keep seeing what Elon Musk keeps throwing out there as far as tweets. Um, yes, a video on your trading setup and important tech that you couldn't trade without. Oh, I like that. Tech that I could not trade without. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I definitely put something together on that. I think that'll be nice. There's some things I would not like to trade without. And I noticed that when I went on vacation and I was trading, I only traded one day. That was the travel day. I really wanted to just not be into trading and enjoy the time there with the family, because what happens is, if you get into a trade, um, and it doesn't work out quickly, and now you got to manage that trade. For me, it's very difficult to just set a stop and not look at it. I have to look at it. So I don't want to be, 10:30, 11:30, still sitting there, working on trades when my family's like, hey, we had breakfast already. Let's go do something. You don't want to do that. So I only trade on the travel day, and that's it. But I noticed on that travel day how I haven't traded on a laptop for a long time, because we haven't gone anywhere with the pandemic. It was so brutal. I was so slow on everything. I mean, I realized how much I love this setup here, for trading. And you gotta love your setup. It's gotta be organized, and it's gotta be yours, right? So maybe we'll do this, guys. You guys let me know. I'm always trying to think of some crazy stuff. I'll do my setup, my trading setup, my screens, the way I have everything set up. And then maybe you guys can send me your videos, and maybe we can feature your videos on the future YouTube stuff. Well, I like to see what you guys have too, right? It's a two-way street here. So maybe we could do that. I'll show you the way I have mine, and then you guys can send me if you're interested, send me an email, carlos@bearbrootraders.com. If you want to showcase your trading setup, I would love to do that. And I'll give you some tips on how to record it. So when I feature on a video, it looks pretty good, right? So yeah, let's do that. For the watch list you have, does gap up stock means you guys may long, gap down is short? Great question. We get that one all the time. It does not mean that. What this means for me is, and for the most part, a lot of us is, this is stuff that for some reason has news, has a catalyst, because we're gapping up above 2% with significant volume. There's something going on. What's been happening recently, what makes our stock, our watches a little bit more difficult at times, is that the SPY, if you look at the SPY, the way it's been moving, at times it's gapping up or down 2%. So what that does is the overall market, is going to flood the gappers list up or down, just on no catalyst, right? If you get a big drop or big pop like that. So on days like that, you have to really go through the list and see, what's really good and what's not really good on that list. Sometimes you see this list full and our list is very short as far as the stuff that we really like. Now, we see situations, guys, where something gaps up 10, 20%, is extended on the gap up. And at the market open, people just start taking profits and it becomes a short the entire day. And I'll give you an example. What best example than the one we were just talking about, guys? Twitter. Look at this gap up. This is a huge gap up here, right? But you're so extended now, right? The whole day was a short. So it doesn't mean you're going to go long when you see a gap up. This was gapped up. I forget the percentage. But you know what? Here's a great thing about trade ideas. This was the fifth. We can come in here. I love this feature because you can go back and say, hey, what was really in play. Use historical data, and we'll go back to, this was the fifth. Let's go back to the fifth and see what percentage that was up. On trade ideas, the fifth, we'll do about let's say 9 920, 915, right? Usually when we were pretty much getting close to finishing our watch list. 915, look at this here. Twitter was up 9.7. And this is after, doesn't sound like a lot, but this is after it was up, what was this, like 28%, right? 28%. Now this day was along the entire day. That was great. A little sell-off towards the end. But then it gaps up another 10%. After, I mean, it's just madness. So, you can't really go by that. Can you have a bias if something has a great catalyst? Yes, I had a bias on VREU yesterday, and I mentioned it in chat. I'm like, guys, be careful. This thing has a strong catalyst. So I had a long bias. The reason why I did not short it here, but then other reason as far as the price action too. The price action was just wild. You couldn't trade this thing after that. But I had a long bias on this because the phase 3 trial. They're now trying to fast track this with FDA to get it going. If they get that approved as an emergency viable option for COVID uh, uh, COVID patients that get hospitalized. This thing is gonna rock and roll. It has upgrades from notable banks, not some banks you never heard of. Morgan Stanley, that has a target of $21, right? So it has a lot of positive things. Phase 3 trials was very good with some great results. It's a very positive catalyst. So you want to be careful shorting this thing. There's going to be some aggressive profit taking, but I'm not surprised, man, if this thing next week, it's going to be in play for some time. I'm not surprised if we're above 20, if this thing continues to show positive results and progression with the FDA. If they get that approval to emergency fast track this thing is going to hit 21 and better very easily. So based on all that I read, I had a little bit of a long bias on it, but just the way it was trading, you couldn't get in it. I find it straightforward to identify the entries, but where you take your profits, that can be difficult. How long to hold? Any thoughts on extending positions? Yeah, for me, what I end up doing is I don't have a set target as far as a number, but what I do is as soon as I see the price action kind of slow down a little bit and I'm away from my entry, whether it's at 1 hour or not, I'm going to take probably a small partial, 10%. Just take 10%, put some in my pocket. That pays for the trade. If the trade goes to crap, if it just sells down through my entry, that pay for the trade, right? So you take care of that, and now you get out of break even, or you wait and see get out of your stop loss if there's still some potential that this thing can still go. But every time, if you see my recaps, you're going to see that it looks like I'm getting out usually right at the wicks. That's not a limit order. I'm doing that because I'm seeing the hesitation in the momentum upwards. So whether I hit a daily level, whether I hit a 1R or 2R, I don't do it by R's. I'm not calculating that. I'm hearing, okay, we lost momentum. Let's take a partial here, right? So that's usually how I'm doing my partials. So I partial out 10% because I'm going to expect to be doing that quite a bit. For the watch list you have, does a gap up means, yep. So we answered that already. Very good. All right, excellent, guys. Guys, send me an email. I would love to hear from you, Carlos at bearbootraders.com. Ideas on the pre-market show setup. We're going to be adding the SPY at the bottom. We're going to be adding the NASDAQ Dow Jones. So that'll be there going forward. I think it looks pretty good. And then I will reset everything. You guys are seeing the flickering, right? That's not just me. I just want to confirm you're seeing it on your end as well. We're going to fix that also and just make this a little bit nicer going forward. So, guys, thanks for joining me this on this little test run here on this Friday. Have an amazing weekend. I will see you guys next week, Monday. So take care, guys, and have an amazing weekend. See ya.